Hi there! Tonight I'm going to make my very favorite Thai recipe, pad see ew. It's delicious. I'm going to do this in two videos. In the first one I'm going to show you how to make fresh rice noodles. You have to have fresh rice noodles. You can buy them usually in an Asian market, but you need to use them that day. They don't last long. So, because of the pandemic, I'm not gonna rush out to the Asian market to get these. I'm gonna make them at home. I've done this before and it's easy and it's kind of fun. So let me show you what you're gonna need for the noodles. You're gonna need some rice flour from an Asian market, or maybe you can order it online, I'm not sure, probably. Rice flour, and some people call this tapioca flour, some people call it tapioca starch. So this is going to give your noodles a little bit of a chewiness. And the other one, well, you got to have flour for noodles, right? Okay, and the only other thing I need besides water is some kind of flavorless oil, like canola or grapeseed would be good. I'm just going to use some canola. Now, you do need to kind of figure out what kind of tools you're going to use. I'm going to have a little dish like this for some oil and a brush, because you'll see I need to brush oil. You're going to need some kind of steamer. Let me show you what I have down here. So, Annie, you probably remember this. This is the same pot I used when you were growing up. It's got a steamer in it. Some people might have bamboo steamers, and that'd be cool. But I have this, and you also need, some kind of cake pan. You know what? This isn't going to work. I have some smaller cake pans. Let me get those. These are better. Excuse me. These will fit down in there like that, and I need to have the pans, fit down into a steamer and be flat, and you'll see why. So figure out what you have and what's going to work for you, and let's get started. So I've got everything ready, and we're going to start. By the way, the flour is to make the noodles soft, and the tapioca is to make them chewy. I already have a bag of this open, so I'm going to use this and not open the other one. You want 1 cup of rice flour. And I always like to get a plate to work on so that, if I spill, I won't make a big mess. Plus, I can put my used utensils on the plate. Anyway, so here's this. 1 cup. And I like to have a nice straight edge. I'm not sure where I got this. I've had it forever. But it's just it's a spatula of sorts. It's got a nice straight edge, so I can do this. Oh, well, not quite full. Ah. And I made a mess anyway. What do you know? So I've got a cup of rice flour. Since I made a mess, I'm going to clean it up before I go any further. All right, I have 1 cup of rice flour. Now I'm going to have a 1/2 cup of tapioca flour or tapioca starch, same thing. And by the way, just for your information, this is the same thing used to make boba. Maybe we'll do boba one day. Okay, just need a 1/2 cup of this. Let's see if I can do this without messing up. Or without making a mess. That's not enough. Not enough. I really love to use old jars for things like this. You probably knew that about me though. All right, there we go. Okay, we're going to mix those. I'm using a whisk, but you don't have to. All right, now I've got 1.5 cups of water. So I'm gonna put a little bit in, mix that up. Yeah, just put a little more. Don't want it to be lumpy. That's why I'm using a whisk. It's kind of a weird consistency. Like if you leave it sitting there, it's gonna, I don't know, sink? I don't know. All right, and there we go. So here's my steamer. I have put water in the bottom so that it's below the steamer. It won't take long to boil. So I'm gonna turn that on high and get it going. Meanwhile, over here, let's see. Over here, I don't know if this is gonna work. Here's my batter, and here are my pans. I'm gonna switch places. So I'll just put a little bit of oil in my little glass bowl. And I'm just gonna set this aside in case I need more. I'm going to lightly oil the pans. And by lightly, I really mean lightly. Just need a little film. So I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe that first one. I'll wipe them both, why not? Okay, now, it's going to be a production line. So I'm going to take a little less than 2 ounces of the batter and put it in a pan, and then I'm going to twirl it to make sure I'm coating the entire bottom of the pan. Okay, so I have this little container that holds 2 ounces, and I've poured 2 ounces of batter in. I'm going to put the camera down so you can see the pot, and then I'm going to put this in the pan. Just watch what I do. Here's the pot. The water's boiling. So here's my pan. I'm gonna pour it in, and I really want to get as little as I can in there, but I do want the bottom to coat. So I'll put a little bit more. Okay, now I'm gonna just put this in here and cook it very quickly. Okay. There. Put the lid on. Just takes a few seconds. And you can see it's starting to look kind of not shiny. Okay, not quite done. So you wanna take it out when it's just matte, has a matte surface. Okay, that should be done now. I'm just gonna pull it up. I didn't mention that you're gonna need tongs. All right, now the first one is a little tricky to get out. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one. I'm going to get a production line going, but first I want to show you how to take this out. You need something really thin, very thin. Maybe a knife would work. I like to use this. Actually, this other thing might even be better. The thing I was using to level the powdered ingredients. I'm just gonna, whatever you get it, the thin and flexible is good. You wanna just go along the edge and release this. Just go along and release it all along the outer edge, and then you're gonna coax it out like that. It's sticking right there. That's not good. Okay. And then put it the oiled side down on a plate. You don't want it sticking. Ugh. Maybe I'll oil the plate a little bit actually, just to be sure. There. And then I'm going to brush the top because I don't want them to stick to each other. And I'm going to stack them. You don't need a whole lot of oil, but coat it so that the next one won't stick. Okay? Okay. And here goes with the assembly line. Gonna pour, and see, I didn't use it all. So maybe 1 3/4 will do. Pour it in, spread it around, and come over here. Drop it in. Give it a few seconds, and while we're giving it a few seconds, I'm going to be brushing the next pan. And you kind of have to work fast. Well, you don't have to. I mean, you could take longer. I just, you know, want to get it done. It's still shiny, so that one's not ready. Okay. There we go. And I'll put in this one. Okay, so you're going to keep doing that until you have a stack. I don't know how well this is going to work, but I'll try to record me actually doing this. So I'm going to need to move this a little further away. So here's this. Let's see. There's the pan. I mean, there's the pot over there. And I have one in that's ready to come out. Take it out. And you don't actually need to dip the brush in the oil each time. I'm doing this one because I'm seeing bits around the edges. Okay. And don't let your water boil out either. So this is kind of, you know, fast-paced. Move that. Put this here. Just pour it in. Swirl it. Put it in. Make sure it goes all the way to the edges. Over here. Go along the outside. And I look for the thicker side because that's easier to grab. Oh, you know what? I don't think I brushed the tops of the last ones. So we always want to brush the top of the last one. Otherwise they'll stick, and that's not good. Okay. Put that on top. There it is. Okay. Time to get the next one. Yep, that one's ready. Put it right over here. Get that in there. We'll brush the oil. Not much. I didn't add oil to the brush that time. There we go. Come on, go to the edges. Okay, that'll do. And then I got this one. Oh, yep, once again, I forgot to brush. Brush the top. And then put this down. Okay. Yay. Do that now. Brush the top. This dish requires attention and fast moving. Let's see. This should be done. It is. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I mean, once it's boiling, you know, you don't need to do much. Just a clean pan. Do a little brush. Fun. I'm using about 1 3/4 ounce. So once you get it in the steamer, if you've got some areas that aren't quite, you know, where it's sticking, it'll start sticking to the pan really fast. So you can just kind of maneuver it. All right, I did brush that. Oh yeah, gotta take this out. And pull this up. Flat. See, I have maybe enough for one small one. I'm going to get a spatula so I can scrape out every bit of that. Okay. Now, I'll let you see the pot. Okay, that looks good. I'm just going to grab it on the edge. Put it over here. Put this one in. Okay. And then this one, even though you can't see very much from here. dry too, so I gotta quickly put the oil on this. Okay. Then, last one. Well, not sure it's gonna completely cover it, but we'll see. That's pretty good. Okay. We did it. That's it. So, that's the end of the noodles. No, that's not the end of the noodles. We haven't cut them yet. Hang on. I'll be back. Okay, that didn't take long. And I have a stack of noodles, round noodles, which isn't going to work for pad see ew. But that's okay. We can do this. The only thing we have left is to cut them. So, I'm gonna move it over to a cutting board. And that last one was so thin that I end up with this like skin, but whatever, I'll throw that in. Gonna need a large bowl to put them in. And I'm gonna cut them about 3/4 of an inch wide. Just cut them like that, all the way down. That one's a little wider than 3/4. Wouldn't be a bad idea to put some oil on the knife. So why don't I just do it? I just brushed the knife with oil. These are not as long, obviously, as the ones that you buy in the store, but they're good enough. Okay, now all we have to do is pull them apart and put them in the big bowl. So just pull them apart. All of them, pull them apart. And that's that. Here you are, rice noodles. I really think it took longer to separate the noodles than it did to make them. But anyway, we're ready to go. So, next video, pad see ew.